Hello and welcome on day 4 of the self-love game. Today it is all about self-healing. Self-healing is almost the end of the self-love game. And then we have tomorrow, and tomorrow will be about more or less like the final result of self-healing. So yeah, self-healing, and I'm going to talk about, I felt in my heart that it was appropriate to talk about um, that self-healing always means to cut yourself loose from that thing that presented itself in any form to you, in or outside your body, because the body and the world is all one continuum, and the inner is inner from that. So it's good to realize anything that stands out to you in that realm of the body and the world that does not vibrate harmoniously and peacefully to you, with you, is something that you want to heal. And I realized, to just cut it short right here in the beginning, that, I mean, as many healing as I've done, especially the last 20 years, I also saw now that it comes down to the fact that everything that is in that realm of the body and the world that is not vibrating harmoniously to your soul that is in the inner can be healed by means of cutting yourself loose from it in a way that it is becoming non-codependent with it. So, that was all I wanted to say today. There it is. So what does it mean, right? What does it mean to be non-codependent with that thing that doesn't vibrate harmoniously with you in your essence? And your essence, your soul, your core, your inner is not your personality, it's not your emotions. It's really your inner, it's your soul, and it's in a way invisible, and therefore it can be quite daunting for people to know what we mean or something, but it really exists. And like the medium in between that inner and the body and the world kind of realm, the medium, the intermediary medium in between is energy, I suppose you could say. So it's not that we therefore can't grasp the inner or something. We actually can, we actually can. And the inner has some sort of a light beams that shine out, and so how do they come into this world and this body? Well, through the energy. That's the intermediary medium. That makes most sense to say it like that. And we can even do things with that energy in itself. Oh man, that is a wonderful technique in self-healing. So in that way, you go directly to that medium that is in between, so that you can heal the distance between both. Wow, that is like the most core healing ever, and the most direct way I've ever said it. Well, there you go. So energy work is really a part of what we're doing here at Creative Universe, which is so true. And like the first book that that is out, I mean, it's not the first book at all, because I've published since 1995. But what I mean, like the first book in sort of the realm nowadays that we're really ready to reach out to the world with our work and stuff, in that phase. It's some sort of the first book. But anyway, I mean the book 9 Entrances to Conscious Creativity, it really holds an energetic baseline of like work. So yeah, that's what is like the basic thing of how we work is in that book. That's what I wanted to say. So, what does it mean to be non-codependent with those problems, with those areas that vibrate somehow disharmoniously? You do cut it loose, indeed, but it's not to say that we're now going to live on the top of the mountains of the Himalayas or whichever mountain range in the world, and they're wonderful, and the nature is shining and beauty and everything, but you're just away from normalcy in a way that it makes it extraordinary. You may not come across your actual disharmonious pieces in your energy when you're at the top of the mountain, and that's actually a problem because, you know, the point is you actually want to meet those disharmonious pieces and you want to heal them, you want to then heal them, because when you do that enough times you get in another state of being. That is really what we're working towards in this video. And I know that because I experienced this myself and one of my students fully as well, and another of my students also. And from there on we'll just let that roll out to you and other people and the whole world, right? So when you're on the top of the mountain, you're actually not meeting many things of yourself and of the world anymore. And that's a pity, because you want to meet as many disharmonious pieces as possible in this healing phase, so that your consciousness, the mirror of your consciousness, gets clearer and clearer, because you want to actually go to that spot that is further down the road of the spiritual journey, because that's where the juice is, that's where the milk is, that's where like your money comes in as a result of you sharing your mission. That's where the ultimate co-creational partner is just there for you and is co-creating with you, and suddenly you're together there. You're not alone anymore in this entirely new way together, as you can call, in the ascended plane, and the relationships that arise there spontaneously when you are there, when you're fully arrived. So you want to cut yourself loose, but not in a way that you're going to sit on the top of the mountain and you're not going to run away from all problems per se. You're also not going to look for problems, but you're just going to meet whatever arises and within that you just go to this sanity in like the horizontal plane or something, in the energy plane, and that is like, so this is the thing and this is me. This is the crazy situation and this is me. This is me feeling good in my heart and peaceful, and I acknowledge that there's something else and I can honor that too. Although it doesn't feel right to me, it exists. So, you know, that's how you separate yourself in a sane way, like a psychologically sane way. And you actually love that other piece. You acknowledge that other piece. You say, yes, there's you, there's me. We both exist. We both have weight. We stand on the ground. We are on the earth. A piece or a person. Often it's, of course, a piece inside of ourselves. And you can close your eyes when you go into work like this and just see with your inner eye what you're seeing inside of yourself. Although many times we also see that stuff in the world and in relationships and on our world and in our friends group and in our families and what have you. But anyway. So you do it such that you can say, yes, I am here and there is the other thing, and it exists, and I love it, I love it. It's good to see before me what that is. It's good to learn from that thing or person or situation what that is telling me. It's brilliant, actually, how reality works. So whether it's a spouse that you don't feel right about anymore, or it's a car that is needing updated, being updated, or it's the relationship with your parents that doesn't feel right, or it is whatever it is, you cut yourself loose in the sense that you can now see yourself co-creating side by side within the same space of acknowledgement and respect, and you thank that other thing or person or situation or relationship from the heart, and you really mean that, and that's how you cut yourself loose. Things will go another way from that moment on, depending on how serious you are in your heart. So you can take a moment and try that out. You can feel out a situation for yourself and say, yes, I acknowledge you. I love you. Thank you. I choose to be me and to acknowledge the other. Because me and the other are there. And you just bow. You bow your head. And you take a breath, of course. And then you will see that you're actually able to move on in a new way, on your own path. So that is cutting yourself loose, and it's worth it, because that is how you grow towards your heaven on earth, that you can then share and have a heaven on earth for many people, for all of us. And that's psychologically seen what we call non-codependency. They have their truth, I have my truth, and that is allowed to be here, to stay here, to be like a temporary situation that I acknowledge. And from that place, it is my choice to go to my inner heart and connect my heart with the inner, with the self, with the soul, and with Source. And that's how I go from the horizontal acknowledgement towards the truth and the unconditional love, vertical connection. And that's almost a cross. That's why all these religions have a cross in their sign, in their logo. Because it's the way to go. You acknowledge on the horizontal, and then you go from the place even more inner to your connection with Source and unconditional love. That's vertical. So in the creative identity healing methodology that I also call sexual magic and I call it different names now and then, I have to admit. It'll be explained in the books that are to come. And of course, working with us privately and in our courses. Well, therein, we call it the golden flow. That is repairing your energy system to the point of having the horizontal space healed into a steady working system. And you can get to that point. It is an actual state of being. You can get to that actual point. And that will be known to you. Or we'll know it together. Because that is something that comes through me. It is actually also updated in the general energy field on the Earth right now for 2020 and forward. We have prepared a whole new energy grid work around the entire magnetic electric field on this planet. And that's where the 9 points, the 9 energy point system is being clicked in, and this is supported by creation, architecture of creation. And it's like a new place from which energy work emerges and is explained as something that comes from creation, not because I say it. And so golden flow, yeah, you wanna anchor that, you wanna ground that in truth. And from there on, you can start to bloom. And there is another state of being that we teach here, and that is the harmonious union. And that is like the vertical dimension. And that's like the harmonious twin flame union, because at that place you will, when you arrive in this state of being, you will be with your twin flame in a harmonized co-creation. And that will be fully and completely clarified to you, and you will be growing that life together from there, however it may look at that specific time. And that's, by the way, where so many people, like also on the internet, in 100 Facebook groups, and like so many channels on YouTube, and they're all looking for that, by the way. They're all looking for this twin flame resolution. I'm very aware of that. And yeah, that's the resolution of that question. That thousands of people, if not millions on the earth, are actually actively looking for at this point. Although for other people this may sound still like an unknown, strange story. So that's a little bit how it is at this point in 2020. So that's like the vertical healing state of being that you come into, and that will also be definitive, and it will be very pronounced. You will know when you're there. You cannot miss it. And certainly I cannot miss it when you are there. You have just become in it, because maybe that first few hours and first 5 days you can still be like, did I? Because it's pretty new in the world that people do that and get there. So, but then we can see it. It's you know, like it's just a matter of some sort of, you can see it. Um, when people are uh, colorblind and then suddenly they can see color, but I happen to be a person that already could see color. I can sort of see. I know that's a wrong example. I don't know. It's like you can just see it. You can just feel it. Maybe like a better example is like you walk in the street and there's like you smell apple pies being baked. So you know that apple pies are being baked in a building nearby because you did smell it and it's very specific and you know that smell very well. Maybe that's better. That's an example. Okay. Well, but coming into the state of harmonious twin flame union is, by the way, it does feel like um, you were first colorblind and now you can see colors and you will be shocked. But anyway, that's what healing does. So, yeah, that's what healing does. You just, yeah. So who doesn't want to see the entire rainbow of colors, you know? And when you can't see it yet, you're maybe like, yeah, but why should I go on this healing journey? Because like, who cares about the whole spectrum of colors? I mean, like black and white and a little bit of gray and a little bit of blue, and it's enough, right? So, and like not much can be said about that. What can I say? You know, I can tell you, well, you know, the whole spectrum of colors is really like, it really tastes good, you know, but some of you won't believe it. So that's a little bit how that one goes, that's true. Okay, so healing and cutting yourself loose. Yeah, it is. It is really worth it to cut yourself loose from anything that gives you temporary uh, satisfaction for that kind of healing states of being, healed states of being. It is really worth cutting yourself loose from things that are by society or socially attuned thinking or something, or our cultures are considered something that you need to do and stick by. Um, you know, if it needs that, you know, it's worth cutting yourself loose from an old relationship that was actually having all the paperwork in order. In other words, you're legally married or something. So maybe that comes up for you as the thing that doesn't vibe harmoniously. But would it be worth it to cut that one loose while the entire society and all your friends and family would tell you that this spiritual work sounds good, but not when you have to do that one? Yeah, it is. It is worth it. Well, you know what? And when you just get to that place of the entire rainbow, and you will see that you can some sort of remarry, right? But then you'll have it aligned with the heart. You'll have all the colors. And you'll be healed in it and through it. But often on the road of healing, we get through those kinds of phases. Yeah, and I really want to tell you that please allow yourself to be sad and depressed if you are. Allow yourself to grieve. If there is a phase when that is relevant, then please do so. And don't force yourself to be in a high vibe and have a smile, because that makes no sense. It's much more healing to actually be depressed when you are and really go through it. Feel those feelings that you don't want to feel. And then become angry, right? And become sad, and just feel yourself through it. If that takes a couple of months, well, congratulations. And things can only get better when you allow yourself to really live through such episodes. And it really doesn't matter what society says or something, if you're now so-called lazy. Well, you're absolutely not, because the first priority is always to heal yourself, and everything comes from that. Heaven unfolds from that, and the whole world will heal with you when you allow yourself that. So, no matter the cost, it's your first priority, and things will start unfolding and then coming to bloom. And I really want it for you. I'm just going to see if we get a card for additional messages. I will shuffle the cards this time on day 4 in the self-love game. In the in the video. Let's see. Just cut the deck once, and we'll have Temperance. It's a Dutch card deck, so classical tarot major arcana, matigheid in Dutch on Dutch. So, and that is wonderful because it stands for alchemy, and you know that water is going back and forth between those two cups, and that will create like a third element, which is the alchemy. And this is really the healing card of the whole tarot deck. So healing, and it's an angel, so you're guided and protected by all the forces that are beneficial, and through our channel and through me, you are guided and helped by Selenitas and Hygienitas. That's our sort of, you could say, timeless, eternal, higher self energy personalities. You're also guided and healed by the masters of eternal wisdom that I lead, and they're well known as a phenomenon, but there are mistakes in that. But through me, you can attune to the actual masters of eternal wisdom, how I call them nowadays, and you are welcome to do so. They are very willing to assist you as well through the invisible, and you are assisted by the master magician that is sort of in two forms. There is the master magician in and out of the flesh, and there is like the father figure, kind of like. And he also assists you at this time. Father healing is very important in this day and age, and it is the most important healing that most societies of present day, at least that are connecting with videos as such, can go through. And most of all, you're of course healed by the presence of the source of all, which we could call God. Let's see if we have another additional message. Okay, this is my deck, Manifestation Card for Entrepreneurs. I just shuffled a little bit and cut the deck once, and we have from the service or product towards value and money. Yeah, it's like the hand is in the water, and we see it's sort of a moon, and it's actually a ball, and there's like this empty place that is shining. that there is the invisible value that actually is the essence of what we're talking about. And putting your hand into the water means to go to your feelings and actually feel them out, because on the other end of feeling them out is the invisible value, and it does nourish you, it heals you, and through your healing you can also heal others. That's a little bit of the sense that I get from the phrase, from service or product to value and money. Yeah, it's like reaching out or something, and the same happens in business. You can, heal while having a business too, because business means you are going to create socially with other people, and you better do that from the place of inner understanding and spiritual truth, spiritual sanity, and the true journey towards states of being, golden flow, and harmonious union, because that's the most healing place you can achieve any business towards. But you will also, in your road to there, encounter the most disharmonious pieces that are asking you to be healed, so that it transforms for yourself, other people, and the world, and you can arrive. That's why you're healing. I mean, if there would be any piece of giving a personal offer necessary in life, in the spiritual sense, let it then be you offering your time and energy to the process of going through those healings that are there for you. I will promise you that there's an end to it. And in that end, I now mean the states of being of golden flow and harmonious union. And that is not the end yet, because you're still living and you're not in your grave yet, probably, for this lifetime. But it means that you have definitively arrived in a certain clicked-inness, and that cannot be taken away from you anymore. And now you're going to grow within that, on the horizontal plane in golden flow, and on the vertical plane in harmonious union. On both axes, you're going to grow now in a more harmonious manner. Anyway, I just shuffled the Egyptian deck, and I cut it once, and I now picked this one, and it says, oh wow, it's like a dark, deep well that is man-made in the earth. It looks like it represents going through the dark night of the soul or something. People call it like that. And it can get very so-called dark and difficult for a time when you're healing. That's true. But you can accept that from the place that is free of that, and then move forward anyway. Let me read what it says. You're more free than the role that you're playing. Yeah, you're not only your role, you're not only your form, you're not only the problems in your form, you're not only the disharmoniousness in your form, you're more than that. And that's what I just said. From that place, you guide yourself forward. You will be freed from something or someone that keeps you small. Well, isn't that all about it today? visualization idea. Throw all your identifications in a visualized hole in the ground. That well, that man-made well, yeah. So that's a great idea. And in the self-love game of day 4, you had actually a suggestion in your worksheet that also said something about how to draw or write down your nasty situation that asks for healing and then do something with it. And here they say maybe just throw it in a well. You could also maybe feel into your heart what to do with it, what feels best for you. Some like to burn it, some like to bury it, some like to just send it love, some like to just put it in an envelope and be very loving with an envelope and put it on your altar. It depends on what feels good in your heart, what you can do with it, but it can really help you. Right, so let's see what color of the 4 of the creative identity main pieces, main archetypes we will have here, and it will be for this time it will be the gray one, and that is going to be, let me see, I think that is the heart. Yeah, it's the heart and like communication area. Right, so that is asking for healing, I guess. And let's see if there's a healing symbol that we can apply for that in any intuitive way that you like. Yeah, we're just going to, number 1, we're going to ground that heart and that communication. We're going to ground it. So this is the ball, the grounding, the lowest point of your body, of your energy, the earth, the having weight, your pelvis, your hips, your legs, your feet, the way you touch the ground, the basic structure of things, the incarnated truth of stone. You can put that symbol on anything that feels right for you, and may it help you. Thank you for tuning in, and may your days be blessed and your healing transform with ease. And I'm looking forward to connect with you deeper if you like. There are many ways that you can do, that you can execute, many things you can execute to get closer. Come to our group, buy our coaching, go on the list for the next game we're going to play on social media. We'll notify you. Get your starter kit, valued €224. So, I will see you real soon, and just sending you healing. Bye-bye. Love from Pam.